Alright folks, Captain Walton here with you today once again. Today we're going to be doing a little discussion and demonstration on a new product that has been, at least for me, one of the more exciting releases that has been in development, and I am extremely happy to see it out. It is early access, and I am very happy to see more FS developers starting to do early access. This is a big thing on platforms like Steam, and PC game developers do a lot of early access now, and I am very excited to see this in moving in the direction of Flight Simulator. Anyways, the product I'm talking about today is Air Hauler 2. Now, myself, I have used Air Hauler 1, the original, for years, and I really enjoy it. It's like running a virtual airline or having a virtual airline without having all the pilots fly for you, and the stress and sometimes annoyance that can come with developing and running a virtual airline. I have been very blessed in my virtual airline, National Cargo, to not have that drama and that issues that arise from so many virtual airlines nowadays. So, setting that aside, let's talk about this product. Air Hauler 2, in itself, is managing and operating your own airline. As in Air Hauler 1, you operated your own cargo airline. Well, that's right. In Air Hauler 2, not only do you operate cargo, you can operate your own passenger service or air charter service. So you can fly cargo, you can fly scheduled passengers, charter passengers, or even, get this, you can fly scenic tours, or just take a couple of folks around the bush of Alaska, showing them the beautiful mountains and landing and making money for your company. Now, this is a big step in the right direction for Air Hauler, in my opinion. But just to kick off, let's look at some of the features that Air Hauler 2 offers as opposed to Air Hauler 1. For those of you that have operated Air Hauler 1, you know it was strictly cargo and can sometimes become repetitive and annoying. But let's go ahead and look at Air Hauler 2 here. As you can see, the image of Air Hauler 2, the actual program itself is in a dark gray format as opposed to white, easier on the eyes. May not be a lot for some, but that means a big thing for me, because brightness will hurt my eyes at times. Anyways, if you get it now in the early access stage, you're looking at a special offer price of only $37.99 for the whole product, the base product. Now, if you are an owner of Air Hauler 1, like I am, you can upgrade down here for only $29.99. I had some unused points at Just Flight, so I actually bought it for less than that, around $27. So if you have Air Hauler 1, $27 is not a bad price tag to upgrade to the new and much more improved Air Hauler 2. The download size, only 154 megabytes, not too shabby. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at this. I'm going to read the description for you, and you can kind of get a better understanding of it. Air Hauler 2 is initially being released as an early access version. As I said before, this is a big thing. I'm very happy to see this. Early access means that Air Hauler 2 is not yet 100% complete, but it is at an advanced stage of development, meaning that it can be released to all those, as they put it, airaholics, who are keen to see what's new and who would like to contribute to the final stages of its development. So as you're playing Air Hauler 2, if you see things you would like improved, if you see things or don't see things that may be missing that you would like to see, contact the developers in the early access forums. Let them know what you want to see. It would not surprise me at all if they put it in there. These guys have done a great job. I've already tinkered around with it a little bit since installing it. So, but we will, after we talk about this, we will go in the program and I will demonstrate to you some of its pretty awesome features compared to Air Hauler 1. Now, understandingly enough, in early access, there may be bugs, issues, or missing or incompatible features or functionalities at this time. That's understandable. That's why you just let the developers know. You run into bugs, get on the forums, let them know, and I am very, very comfortable saying that they will fix the problems. Okay, let's go down here to the detailed description. The in-flight menu system. So during your in-flight stages, you can manage your company and accept jobs without even leaving the simulator. This is definitely a big plus for me from the old air hauler where you'd have to alt-tab out sometimes. It would crash on you when you did that, or you would select a job when you're alt-tabbed out, go back in, it would crash when you tried to load the fuel. It was very annoying. So being able to do all this from actually in the simulator, for those of you that run full screen and not full screen windowed like I do, that's going to be a big plus for you. Cargo jobs, more variety, better paid jobs, and much faster generation than an air hauler. It's good to know. And for the first time, passenger operations. Fly single passenger jobs between any airport you choose, or set up a schedule and routes for your airline to fly, so you can have dedicated routes if you wish. You can let your AI pilots fly these routes, or you can fly any of them yourself at any time. That's another very neat feature. Alright, the new AI pilot skills tree system. AI pilots can now be trained in over 18 different skills which bring benefits to your company. As the AI pilots improve, they level up in rank, which gives them more skill points to spend. There is a skill tree which has 5 different tracks with individual skills, and each of these can be unlocked by spending points. So for example, an AI pilot who has 5 points in quote-unquote bungee warrior will be subject to less in-flight cargo damage as a result of rough handling than one who has less or no points in that skill. That's pretty cool to actually see the AI benefit from training. Other examples are Rocket Man, which provides more efficient crews, lower fuel costs, and Short Stripper, which lowers the runway landing requirements for AI pilots. So having our AI pilots actually benefit from this training and these skills is pretty awesome. I would think you would agree with me on that. Alright, the next one is take missions from client airports. Supply them with rare commodities or perform photo recon flights or private charter flights. That's pretty awesome too. So you're probably going to hear me say that's pretty awesome a lot because they have really made a step up in Air Hauler 2. Let's continue. Commodity trading. Buy and sell commodities rather than just moving them for clients. Make your own fortune trading between airports. That's another really neat feature. Upgrade your bases. Upgrade them with fuel depots and commodity storage facilities, allowing you to hedge fuel prices and store commodities long term. That's pretty neat. Factories and production. Build factories at your bases and use them to produce desirable commodities which can't be bought on the open market. So what that sounds like to me is people cannot purchase things, or fictional companies cannot purchase things from the open market as they could from you, that is, as long as you have the proper facilities and production facilities. So that is pretty cool to be able to pull in that extra cash to help your airline boost and succeed. See full airport charts. Now this was a big one for me. This was probably one of the bigger selling points for me. See full airport charts in Air Hauler 2 itself. Charts are provided with the kind permission of Mr. John Aldred. So this is pretty cool, being able to see charts within Air Hauler, and there's another neat feature about being able to zoom into the world and see ground level. And we're going to look at that as we get into Air Hauler, but that was a big thing for me. Okay, find aircraft parts from vendors. Find these at larger airports and use them to repair your fleet or build new aircraft yourself rather than buying them. That is pretty cool, being able to repair your aircraft, find cheaper parts, different locations, not having to just rely on one system like you did in Air Hauler 1. And then of course if you find all the proper parts, you can build your own aircraft without having to pay that huge purchase fee of buying a new aircraft. So my hat's off to the developers at Air Hauler 2. You guys are doing a fantastic job. If you're watching this video, you have the full support from Captain Walton. Okay, new type rating system. This was really cool. I did like this. Get qualified on aircraft before you or your AI pilots can fly them. Now you're thinking, oh no, type rating testing, oh this is going to be a pain in the butt. It's actually not that complicated. They hit a pretty good medium between a challenge and easy. So they really hit the middle mark on that pretty well. Buy and fly aircraft in your personal fleet. You can also transfer money from your company into your own personal bank account. So you can buy your own private Cessna 172 on the side to fly and have fun when you're not working for the company, or if you have your own 172, maybe you can make a few extra bucks for your own pocket by flying somebody to Las Vegas or something. That's pretty cool. Buy new aircraft direct from the manufacturer or buy second hand. That seems to be a similar feature from the first one, but let's see what they have to say in detail. Have the aircraft shipped to you or go collect them yourself and fly them home. That is a very, very standard feature from the first one. I remember that, but it could be better in this one. I have not actually flown with Air Hauler 2 yet. I plan on doing that today, so we'll see what happens. All new map views with great circle routes. Several map tile choices are available, and I've actually looked at this, and this is really cool because you can go from real world satellite maps to basic animated type maps that you would normally see, like from Air Hauler 1. But I did like the real world satellite maps because it made it a lot more fun to look at the maps on your route and stuff and see what you would be seeing when you'd be flying. So that was really a neat feature for me. Create custom airports. Now this is really cool. This is one thing that Air Hauler 1 lacked big time, was sometimes you may want to make your own airports out on a grass field somewhere. Okay? But you never could get Air Hauler to recognize it as an airport. Well, guess what? Now you can. Create custom airports. Create an airport which will be recognized in Air Hauler 2 for any scenery which does not create a proper airport and flight simulator, i.e. the Orbix series and other airport add-ons. So Orbix, that was a big problem with Air Hauler 1, was a lot of the airports were not recognized by Air Hauler, and it was really a pain, and it really made the experience dull. So I'm very happy to see that, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to be ecstatic to see that as well. Included database of common aircraft. This was another very neat feature. Designed to populate the stats while importing. So when you're importing your aircraft manually, you no longer had to sit there and search for specifications of the aircraft, like searching for fuel burn figures. This will automatically import the fuel burn figures. All you have to import is the range. And it said this will be fully populated during early access with the assistance of players. It seems to be working already pretty good. I'll show you that when we get it in the actual program. And then, of course, the early access forum helped shape the development of Air Hauler 2 throughout the early access period and beyond. So, that sounds pretty good to me. And here we go, this next part. Early access features coming soon. Not supplied with the initial early access release, so this is features that are not currently in the program but will be coming soon. Create, it says create, staff, and fly for your own virtual airline or for other players' virtual airlines. Now that is a big thing. So if you have, let's say, a group of 5 people, you all have Air Hauler. I'm sure you remember Air Hauler 1 was kind of boring because you couldn't fly for anybody or have anybody fly for you and help you build your company up. That was a big downer. But finally in Air Hauler 2, guess what? You can fly for your friend's airline, they can fly for yours. This is going to be utilized big time by myself and my friends that I fly with. I mean, we're very excited about this, so that's something very good to look at. The next thing, work with other Air Hauler 2 pilots in-game to complete community goals to build new facilities such as commodity fabrication factories or aircraft construction facilities. Very cool. Complete for jobs from a global shared job bulletin board, so you're competing with other real-world players for jobs. That's going to be a big kicker right there. Work together with other Air Hauler 2 players to introduce new facilities and commodities into the game by completing shared missions and objectives. Hey, that sounds great. More Air Hauler 2 features and updates will be added during the early access period. So, hey, that's looking good, pretty good. Okay, here's a question they have. When will the final full product version be released? We expect to release the early access phase to the last several months while the virtual airline features are implemented and tested by the user base. So that sounds good. Along with changes to the single player experience, it is anticipated the full release of Air Hauler 2 will occur in 2016. After release, the full product will continue to be developed over time in the same way as Air Hauler was, and users will still have access to the forums in which to discuss the ongoing implementation of features. So that's very neat. And also, if you have any questions, will you be forced to buy the full version when released? The answer is no. The question is right here, will I need to make further payments to get the final full product version? It says, no, buyers of the early access version will not make any further payment and will receive the final version of Air Hauler 2 when it is released. They will of course receive all future updates to the software. And unfortunately, Air Hauler 2 is not compatible for X-Plane or FS 2004. So that's only to be expected. So like I said, the normal price after full release will be $52.99 USD. If you buy early access, the full version is only $37.99 if you do not own one. If you do own Air Hauler 1 like myself, you can upgrade for as little as only $29.99 USD, $30. Not bad at all. So, what do you say we go ahead and close that out, and let's get into Air Hauler 2. Here's the icon. Let's go ahead and run it. And here we go. As you can see, I already have one airline up and running here. So let's go ahead and create a new company from scratch so you can see what it is like to do so. Here's what you're going to see when you first open it up, when you have no airline in it already. Of course, I use Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition, but because I do not have the box and Steam installed, you do not need to select Steam Edition. You only need to select Microsoft FSX if you only run one of them. So at this point in time, you will navigate to your FSX folder, which I have already had in there. And if you are using the Steam Edition, remember you need to highlight the fsx.exe. Then hit next, and here you will put your company name. So for instance, we will put since I'm Captain Walton, we'll put Walton Airlines. Your pilot handle, WAL, we'll put it like that. And your pilot handle is your full call sign, like what you would normally be seen on ATC as. So we'll put WAL100. Your name, I'll put Captain Walton in there, and we will press next. In here in the difficulty section, as you can see, there's a separate fifth possible selection as opposed to Air Hauler 1, and that is Easy Packs, where you'll start with a pack configured 737 and $2 million. So just for the time being, we will go ahead and start with that. Press next, and you can see the map here, what I was talking about. This is just one point of view. You can zoom in, and I mean you can see all the way down to road level, and that's not even on the satellite view, but that is something I really did like a lot. So airport, we're going to choose our home airport base. In this instance, I'm going to pick National Airlines home base, which is KSFB, which is Orlando Sanford. We're going to select that, and then you can see on the map here, it's going to show us all the airports near us. There is KSFB. We are going to zoom in, and you can see SFB there and the runway layouts. Orlando Sanford International Airport. Up here it gives us detailed information, the airport name, the elevation, Latin long, landing fees, which is something very neat to look at because this is what it's going to cost you every time you land there depending on your aircraft weight. Current fuel prices for us is $7.60 for Jet A fuel. Runways, the primary runway is runway 09 and 27. Asphalt and lights. So we will press next. Game options. Use Air Hauler 2 weather generation. Sure. Use networked mode. Launch FS manually. No, I don't need that. And ignore water airports and water runways. No, we're not going to do that because I do have some water aircraft and I enjoy flying them. So now we'll press next. It says completing the wizard. That's it. You're ready to go. Click finish to open your company. Says you'll need to complete a type rating test in your aircraft before you can fly it. You can find the type ratings on your personal details page. So let's click finish and let's wait for it to populate. Look at that. Our office in Air Hauler 2, it looks a lot better than it did in Air Hauler 1, just a white screen. Here you got a little bit of a window. Says your company office. Says you do not have a type rating for this aircraft. Take the type rating test now. I'm going to select no because I want to show you around. I don't want to get in the plane just yet. Down here at the bottom it shows company cash $2 million. Personal cash 0. Date and time. So, okay. And we're going to start at the top and slowly work our way over. Jobs map. Accepted jobs. Routes, ad hoc flights, humanitarian missions. Now that's pretty cool to be able to see that on this version as opposed to Air Hauler 1. Radar, and then of course the Air Hauler 2 forms, early access forms. So we're going to start right here on the jobs map. We're going to click the jobs map. It's going to open up the window, and this is showing all routes connected to Sanford International Airport. Range circles will show. It's currently checked. Draw pack routes, draw jobs, draw missions, draw airports. Okay. So for hypothetical, here's some cosmetics. The quantity is 11,150. And according to this, we will make roughly $72,475. So it's outbound from KSFB and it's going to KPIM, which is Pine Mountain. If we are to accept that job, it expires in 1 day, 3 hours and 57 minutes. The job fee is $72,475, as that's what we will be paid. Okay. So if you look here, that dark dotted line is the flight itself, and it would go to right there. And we can zoom in and get an idea here of the airport. So it's just a one little landing strip right there next to Nelson Road. I don't see anything special with it personally. Okay, so anyways, here what we're going to do is we're going to continue on the list so I can get through all these features here. It may take a little bit. I'm trying to save as much hard drive space as I can on this computer. And also down here, if you zoom in towards Sanford, you can see here our plane, our Boeing 737-800 Paint 1. It's currently parked at Sanford. So the next job screen is accepted jobs. And here it would show any jobs that we have accepted and the date in which it expires and the job fees in which we would be paid after completing that job. And it also of course shows our pilot's location and our plane's location. Next, PAX operations. And this is routes. Right now we don't have any passenger routes in the database, so unfortunately we would not be able to see anything in here right now. Ad hoc flights. Now these are, it's only showing the aircraft in which I'm type rated on, which apparently is only the 737-800, which is depressing at the moment, but considering we just installed the program, that's not too bad. Shows our condition 100%, pilots required 2, and so you would have to have actually an AI pilot assigned to that aircraft with you in order to operate, which is a very neat feature, because in Air Hauler 1 you could fly even a 747 with just you, which I thought was unrealistic. So being able to have that AI guy with you is really, really neat, plus you. So cargo capacity shows that there. Humanitarian missions, there are none available apparently, so apparently those come in from time to time, so you always want to make sure you check that, so that is pretty cool. Radar. The radar on here would show any aircraft in the air currently. There are none, so not a big deal. And then of course obviously the Air Hauler 2 early access forms. We click on that, it opens up on my third monitor. Over there is just a form section, so not much there. Okay, up here, next section, company information. We can click on bases. It shows our base, the runways here at the airport, with the longest runway being 9,587 feet. It's ILS, asphalt, and lights. Not bad, not bad. Aircraft at base, it shows our one aircraft, the condition, the configuration, whether it be passenger or cargo or combi, and the aircraft's range. Base commodity stock, we have no stock here. So then of course airport chart. Now this is pretty cool. This is part of the chart information I was telling you about when we were going over the website information, so that is very neat to have. Okay, next section, fleet. Shows our aircraft here, 737-800, description, configuration, location, condition, status, and down here conditions 100%. So if the aircraft was not at 100%, we needed to repair it, you can click that, it would open up this window as you can see, and you can choose to do a full repair or even a partial repair, which is really, really neat. So if you can't afford to fully repair it, at least you can afford to partially repair it. Hours to check, hours to A check 50, hours to B check 100, and hours to C check 300. Now see, when I went to click on that, A check will cost us, even though it's not due, we can still conduct it now for $64,000. No thank you. B check a little bit more at $162,000, and of course the C check being the most expensive, $259,000 to conduct. So the more aircraft you have, obviously the more expensive that is going to be. The 737 we have is a passenger configuration. It says here, it shows our range, but we can also change the configuration. Change the aircraft configuration from passenger to cargo. The reconfiguration will take 0 days and cost $0. I don't know if that's how it always is going to be, or if it's going to charge us, which I would hope it would end up charging us to do the configuration change. Also, you can change the seating in your aircraft to all economy of 160, economy and premium economy, business, premium, and economy, or first, business, premium, and economy. And you can see it really reduces the amount of seats. So instead of 122 seats, I can really milk the passengers out of those ticket prices and do all economy and get 160 seats. So that is pretty good to know. Pilots and ops. In here, normally it would show our hired pilots, which we do not have any. Pilot details, pilot logged, assigned jobs, passenger sectors. So type rating training and fire pilot, those are not going to come into play anywhere for us right now. Corporate info, cargo reputation, PAX reputation, mission reputation, overall reputation is at 60%. Reputation log has not changed. And then of course you can import your company logo, which we do not have right now. Finance tab, this shows our current company cash, our expenditures, which we have none, our base costs, and we owe that cost of $32,818 every month as a monthly payment for operating out of Orlando Sanford. And the payments, the monthly payments in Air Hauler, just like the original Air Hauler, is real world monthly time. So every month, real world, you will owe the monthly overhead cost. So whether that be aircraft cost, base cost, anything, that'll start growing, that monthly overhead, and that's what you have to pay every single month. So make sure you make enough money to cover your expenses. Right now we don't have any aircraft leasing costs, no pilot costs, no other staff costs, no manufacturing costs, and no loan repayment costs. So that is good. Ledger, have nothing in the ledger. Loans, we don't have any loans. We could take out a new loan if we wanted to, up to $5 million, and I'll go ahead and take out the loan just to show you how it updates itself. And you see we took out a $5 million loan, and our monthly repayment of that loan is $37,500. Took out the loan on the 28th. It is now due next month on the 28th in the amount of $37,500. Our interest rate is 9%. Now if we go back to the ledger, it's going to show that we took out a bank loan capital amount. So finance overview, now our monthly overhead has gone up from $32,818 to $70,318 is what we owe a month. And there is our split expenditures there. So now we have $37,500 under loan repayments. Also, a pretty neat feature here too is the ATM. You click on that, and we can deposit funds if we have funds, which we don't. Or we can withdraw funds. We have $2 million. We can withdraw, let's say, $150, and we transferred $150 to our personal bank account. So now it shows us missing $150 from company cash. Pretty cool. Alright, next tab is the office tab. This brings us back here. We can click on the door to go to the fleet hangar. We can click on the map to look at company bases. We can click on the file cabinets to look at our financials. We can click on the computer to look for available jobs, look out the window for our current jobs. So that's pretty neat there. Personal info. This shows our personal cash. Remember, we just withdrew $150 of our personal cash, and it's now in our personal bank account. Our personal fleet, we don't have a personal fleet, so that's not too bad. And achievements, we have 2 achievements so far. Entrepreneur, for starting a new company, and Air Hauler 2. First haul, buy your first aircraft. But as you can see, there's a lot more achievements to get going. Okay, the next section, factories and construction. Under factories and production, we have factories, which right now we don't have any factories, but if we click on open new, we can manufacture aircraft engines, and just that if we wanted to, or you can manufacture 3. The base of the factory will be location at Orlando Sanford, and the factory name is Walton Power. So let's go ahead and open that factory. We now have a new factory open. Items produced down here. Aircraft engine, 4 times machine parts, 2 times electrical, 1 times avionics. Requires machined parts. So we are going to have to transfer and fly machine parts into Orlando Sanford to keep our production line going. So that is a very neat feature, very neat feature, and I'm excited to definitely see that. Next tab is items. These are all the items that can be bought and sold on the commodities list. From Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3, we have Tier 3 aircraft engines. Components required to produce, we don't have any of those components, so we need to definitely get a move on if we're going to do that. Okay, the construction tab. Construction and facilities, own parts inventory. So, we can build a new construction facility at Orlando Sanford. Facility name, Orlando Sanford International Facility. We can build it in the amount of $1 million. New facility at KSFB is under construction. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take for that to complete, but that is a pretty cool option. Okay, sorry about that. House phone rings, pain in the butt sometimes. Anyways, okay, as we can continue on, we can't do much more here until our facility is finished of being fully constructed. So, next place, Marketplace. In Marketplace here we have aircraft, and this shows all of our aircraft that's currently in the marketplace. We don't own these yet, but it does show a picture of the top right, so you can kind of see what you're purchasing and getting yourself into, which is pretty nice. Now you have the option on all aircraft to either purchase or lease. Me personally, I'm more of a lease individual. I like to lease it until I'm fully comfortable with an aircraft. Now these towards the bottom here I have imported, starting at the National Cargo 747-400 GE. It shows this, the thumbnail. And from that one on down I've imported all these PAO airplanes to add into Air Hauler 2. Next section is crew. Okay, we have 2 possible crew hires. Alright. This pilot here, and one of the big neat features about this is when you're looking to hire a pilot as opposed to Air Hauler 1, is over here on the right, it shows their type ratings held. That's pretty cool. So, they have type rating on the Extra, the Acclaim, the Baron 58, the Texan 2, and the King Air 350. That's not going to be very beneficial to us, especially if we purchase a 747 freighter. So let's look at Robert Myers instead. Now, he's got a lot more. He's got the Bravo G1000 equipped. He's got the Grand Caravan. He's got the Grim and Goose. He's got the 406 Caravan, and I've noticed, what I'm noticing here is it's importing our payware planes into some of these pilots' type ratings, like right here, the 737-700 NGX. He's type rated to fly that. He's type rated to fly the Aerosoft A320-214 CFM, and he's also type rated to fly the payware Concorde from FS Labs. Pretty darn awesome. Next tab, loans and banking. Do we want a new bank loan? No, we cannot take out any loan, so we're going to cancel that. Private sales. Now here is private sales of aircraft. It shows their locations wherever they are. So this DC-3, it's at 91% good condition. They're asking $2.4 million for it. The seller is Maya Long. It's configured for cargo and its cargo capacity and the airport location, and it shows it on the map where it is located. So, and if you zoom out, now it's showing us all over the world where planes are for sale. That is an amazing feature. Very, very cool feature. Let's see what else they've got here. I don't see anything of any real importance right now, but that is still pretty neat to look at. Okay, the stock market section, my portfolio. I don't have anything invested in the stock right now, but you can buy and sell in the stock market to make yourself a little bit of money. Market and stock data. There we go. Here's the market currently going. I do like that. Then you can change. Let's go to the New York Stock Exchange, which is one I like to look at, and you can see the difference over the days and weeks, and then of course NASDAQ. So that's another pretty neat feature to look at for this. And let me go ahead and close out a lot of these tabs here so we don't have so many tabs open. Alright. Under the management section, aircraft management, in here is where you can modify aircraft data, update the aircraft image, delete the aircraft, or you can even import your own custom aircraft from Flight Sim. And that's definitely what I like to do. Custom Airports tab. In here you can add yourself, you can either edit custom airport, delete custom airport, or add a new custom airport by importing an ICAO, the name, city, regions, county, country, state, the latitude, longitude, the altitude, the runway, and the longest runway. And then there you have very easily your own custom airport that you can now fly in and out of. And better yet, it will recognize it. And then of course, last but not least, the options tab. Options in here, you can use different options like using the charts if you wish, the map preference. This is one I want to show you that I like. In here I usually go down to the Yahoo satellite map. Or wait, no it wasn't. I'm sorry, it was the Bing satellite map. There it is. The Bing satellite map. And then here you can zoom in literally all the way down to ground level. Once it decides to clear up there a little bit. Internet might be, let me see here. I'm trying to find the one satellite map that I used. Bear with me here. I think it was the hybrid map right there. Yeah. Anyways, normally it comes in a lot clearer than that. I don't know why it's not coming in clear on this side. On the US side it was coming in beautifully. So anyways, that's how you change the maps. Weather options, generate weather and FSX from air hauler. You can do that. And then of course ignore water airports and water runways. I know this probably has not been the best demonstration, but I did want to get with you and just show you a lot of the neat features in Air Hauler 2 as opposed to Air Hauler 1. One thing before I get going here is on the jobs map. We did not look at this initially. These are all cargo jobs showing. On the left here you can click pack routes. Okay. And currently there's no pack route showing. Commodity stocks. Now once you get commodities saved up, then you can sell them for this price. Missions. There's no missions. Aircraft pilot stocks. We've got our aircraft and our pilot but no stock. Airport charts. Here's our current airport for Pine Mountain for that route that we selected, so that's pretty cool. Parts shop, there is no parts for sale, so unfortunately we are not in the position to buy any parts. So anyways, I hope this has given you a little bit of a better description for Air Hauler 2. I've been getting over some sickness. I'm still sick a little bit, so if I sound a little out of it today, I do apologize. But I would like you guys to really consider taking a good look at Air Hauler 2. If you were a fan of Air Hauler 1, Air Hauler 2 was just... it's definitely the next gen to Air Hauler, that's for sure. Oh, excuse me, that's for sure. So, take a look at it. If you have Air Hauler 1, $29 is not a bad upgrade price. I would definitely help the developers by going ahead and purchasing it. Well worth it. and I would hopefully see y'all on the multiplayer section of it, so maybe we can compete against one another and have some fun with it. Anyways, folks, Captain Walton. Remember to go out, check it out, give us a like, a comment on YouTube, check out Air Hauler 2, support the developers, go ahead and buy it if you're a fan of the Air Hauler series. Once again, Captain Walton, God bless you. Until next time, we'll see you later.